Good morning and welcome back to the AMEDD Effect Podcast, where we discuss the causes and effects of Army medicine opportunities. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. It will still provide insightful information on the Army lifestyle. We have decided to bring our listeners short, informational episodes that will be titled Army Lifestyle. These episodes are designed to be full of helpful information to make Army life that much easier and how certain programs work. When it comes to the U.S. Army, there are a vast number of resources available for soldiers and their family members. So we have decided to bring in people to talk about these programs and everything that they have to offer. On our first installment of Army Lifestyle, we have Mike Seitz in the studio with us today from the Soldier and Family Assistance Program. How's it going today, Mike?
It's going good, Will. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. The Soldier and Family Assistance Program offers programs for soldiers and their family members to take advantage of, such as Army Relief, Army Emergency Relief, Army Family Action Plan, Army Family Team Building, Child Care Resources, Exceptional Family Member Program, Financial Assistance, Relocation Assistance, and Spouse Employment. Mike, you are currently at the Medical Recruiting Brigade. You are the SORB and the Family and Soldier Assistant Program Manager. Can you give listeners a brief overview of who you are and what your position does to assist soldiers and their family members?
Sure, Will. Like I said, my name is Mike Seitz. I've been here with the MRB for about 7 years now. Little back history about me. I'm an Army brat. Served in the Army for about 25 years.
Okay.
And most of it in the medical field. So it's truly an honor to still serve soldiers and their families. In this role, myself and the 5 battalion SFAs, we are like a geo-dispersed ACS for our soldiers and their family members. So, but what I mean is, a lot of our soldiers are out there in remote locations, so we are able to bridge the gap from what is traditional Army installation services. We provide those services for our geo-dispersed families and soldiers.
The Soldier and Family Assistance Program mission is to provide a variety of services to warriors and transition retirees and family members. So today, I would like to give you the floor so you can give our listeners insight on all of the new things that has come into play about healthcare benefits and everything on that line. So I'm going to give you the floor, let you speak, and that way you can give all that information out to everybody. So if there's any issues, they can refer to this video and hopefully it can help them in the future.
Okay, thanks, Will. Well, in today's episode, I'd like to talk about healthcare basics. I think, first everybody needs to know that they are the most important part of their healthcare team. So and knowledge is power. So the more you know about the benefits that are available to you, the better off you're going to be able to utilize these benefits for both the soldier and his or her family members. When we talk about healthcare basics, right at the top, we talk about TRICARE. TRICARE is undergoing some changes right now. There's 2 regions. There's the East-West region, and we also have TRICARE overseas. But going through some changes that will take effect 1 January of 2025. Where we have a new contractor that will take over the West region. But we're going to talk about some of the plans available through TRICARE as it stands right now. And the first and probably the most that people know about is TRICARE Prime. Okay, TRICARE Prime is a benefit for soldiers and their family members. It's typically for soldiers and family members that are on an installation. Not always, but that's the typical role. The next one we talk about, which is big in recruiting command, which is a little bit different than the traditional Army, is the TRICARE Prime Remote. And in order to qualify for TRICARE Prime Remote, you have to be greater than 50 miles or an hour drive time from a military treatment facility, or MTF as we call them. And both the soldier and the family members can be enrolled in TRICARE Prime Remote. However, the family can only be enrolled in TRICARE Prime Remote if the soldier is also enrolled in TRICARE Prime Remote and they live with that soldier. So some sticking points sometimes with our geodispersed population, especially if they're separated from their families, but we generally get it worked out. The next option that's out there is TRICARE Select, and it's what used to be called TRICARE Standard. It's a great program. It gives the soldiers' family members, because it's only available for family members, it gives the soldiers' family members the ability to choose their own health care. Okay, so what I mean by that is with Prime or Prime Remote, you have to have a referral from your PCM, but with Select, you don't have to have that referral. The drawback to that is there is an out-of-pocket expense for the freedoms that you have to select your own services. But it's a great program. A lot of our soldiers' family members use that, especially in those geodispersed areas. And also soldiers that spouses may have some additional insurance through his or her job. They use that program also. The next program that we talked about, flashback a few years where, under Obamacare, where they were talking about care for adult children. So let's talk about TRICARE's program. It's a TRICARE Young Adult Program. It's set up for children aged 21 through 26. 21 if they're not a full-time student. If they're a full-time student, they can stay on Prime or Prime Remote or Select until they're 23. But, it bridges the gap until our young adult children are able to get health care on their own. So once again, that's a monthly premium for that. It's not cheap, but health care isn't anymore. So, but it's a program that's out there for them. We also have TRICARE Overseas, which is a program for anybody that's stationed, in Europe, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, a lot of those areas. And then the last program I want to talk about is the Extended Care Health Option, or ECHO as they call it. And it's a supplemental program designed for family members that have an exceptional family member or EF&P member in their family. And it provides an additional $36,000 a year in supplemental health care for various special programs that are out there. And it's a great program. We have, a lot of soldiers in the MRB have EF&P family members and are currently enrolled in ECHO, and it definitely helps reduce out-of-pocket expenses for the family members. Okay, so we've talked about the TRICARE piece. Let's talk about another one that's big, and that is the dental program. There's several programs out there. Most people just think there's a TRICARE dental plan, and that is one of them. But the first one I want to talk about is we have our MTF care, or DTF care, dental treatment facility care, which is available on the installation. Like I said, we have a geodispersed population out there, so a lot of people are not near a dental treatment facility. So there's a program called the Active Duty Dental Plan, or ADDP, and it's available for any soldier who is TRICARE Prime Remote. There's some, you get all your care from a civilian provider. The sticking point with the ADDP is you must call and get an appointment control number, ACN, prior to seeking care. And before you get any kind of specialty care or care over $750, there has to be a pre-authorization. And a lot of times I see that as a sticking point because while the providers are supposed to be in network, they oftentimes will not get word back on that pre-authorization. So I would caution soldiers that are using this program to make sure that they communicate with their dentist and make sure that the pre-authorization has come back approved prior to seeking care. There's also the TRICARE Dental Plan, which is what our family members use. Mm-hmm. Once again, you use network providers in your local area. Everything as far as preventative care is taken care of. Specialty care, there's co-pays based on the procedure and based on rank. So a great program, but it's another one that's out there. Another one that you may see people with is the FEDVIP, which is a Federal Employee Dental and Vision Insurance Program. And it's relatively new in the last 3 years. We used to have the retiree dental program. A lot of that switched over, but the FEDVIP program has a multitude of options as far as getting, programs you want. For example, my wife and I are both retired military, and we signed up for FEDVIP. We were looking for something that had a higher orthodontic copay or cost share, so we didn't have to pay as much out of pocket. So there's a lot of options out there, and you can go to the Benefeds website and find information about that. But that's another great option that's out there. Another overlooked benefit is the vision insurance, which is also available for our active duty family members through FedVIP. Once again, a lot of different plans out there. Depends on what you want. Some even take care of contacts or LASIK, PRK surgery. So the soldier and his or her family members need to make sure they do the research and find out the plan that's best for them. Okay, another great benefit that comes with TRICARE is the pharmacy benefit. There's several options as far as the pharmacy goes. Once again, you can get your prescription through your MTF, which is the cheapest cost to us, the taxpayer, and a lot of people use that, especially when they're on an installation or near an installation. Say they want to come pick up their prescriptions, they might want to go to the commissary PX while they're out here. So that's a great option. There's also the TRICARE mail order program. There's a small cost for that for family members, no cost for active duty, but it's a great program. And the benefit of the MTF pharmacy and the mail order pharmacy is you can get up to 90-day prescriptions at a time versus 30 days from network pharmacies. Talking about network pharmacies, that is another option for active duty service members and their families. Like I said, 30-day supply is the max you can get from them. There are co-pays currently for family members. Active duty, there is no copay for any covered medication. And you can go to the TRICARE formulary tool online and find out what's covered. Some things that, in my experiences, that I know are not covered, over-the-counter medications, like say you were taking a 200 milligram Motrin, that's available at Walgreens, CVS, one of our network pharmacies. But if your doctor puts in a prescription for an 800 milligram Motrin, that is not available over-the-counter, so it would be approved. So for an active duty service member, so there would be no copay. And the last option is our non-network pharmacies. And this should be the last option that anybody wants to use when they're exploring their pharmacy benefits, because this is the highest cost to them. They may, in fact, have to pay for the whole cost of the medication out of their pocket and then seek reimbursement down the road. So we always want to try to go with MTF, mail order, or network pharmacies before we even look at the non-network pharmacies.
So one quick question before we end. If people have questions or they want to search for some information, more information about all of these opportunities or options that are out there, where can they go to find this information?
Depending on which region you're in, there's TRICARE, there's the TRICARE Tri-West, or HealthNet is the contractor for the West region, and then Humana Military is the contractor for the East region. I would tell you the easiest thing to do is for a soldier to call his or her SFA.
Okay.
We're BCACs, which is Benefits Counselor and Assistance Coordinators, which means we can work with TRICARE and the providers to, if you have claims issues, referral issues, things like that, we can work with the contractors and the providers to assist you.
Now, social media is also a very big platform where people go to look for information. Are you guys on any social media sites where if they wanted to go follow so they can keep up with the latest information, where could they find you at?
Well, the MRB and several of the battalions have Facebook pages,
Okay.
So I try to post stuff on there. Like I said, I cover down for the SORB and currently also covering down for 1st Battalion because their position is vacant. So I post stuff on Facebook all the time that I see that I think would benefit the soldiers. Also, another great idea when we're talking about social media, and we all keep a phone in our hand. So Humana, Express Scripts, HealthNet, they all have apps.
Okay.
And that makes you be a more important part of your healthcare stuff because you can do everything right there on the phone. You can check referrals, check explanation of benefits or EOBs. So, they put a lot of stuff right there for you. And if, you're definitely missing out if you don't have those apps on your phone.
And now for civilian employees, I believe that there is also a group, maybe a Teams group or a Teams link where you post some information, may post information inside of Teams every so often, or is that something a little different?
It's a little bit different.
Okay.
Once again, there's so many options out there for our civilian employees that are not retired military or don't have VA benefits that, we talked about the Benefeds website. That's where they go for their health care plans.
Okay.
There's a lot of information out there, a lot of different plans, co-pays, deductibles, cost share. There's a lot of things. So the civilian realm, I'll help anybody that comes to me with stuff, but it's a little bit different. And, it's kind of a case-by-case basis more so than with our soldiers and their family members.
Okay. Now, anything else you would like to add before we get out of here?
Now, I would tell you, one of the other things I've learned in my experience here is the only thing we can't help you with is things we don't know about. Mm-hmm. None of us work for the psychic network, so if you've got a problem or you think you have a problem, let us know, and we will definitely reach out. We've got some incredible SFAs. We've got military spouses, retired service members as SFAs. We've got people that are veterans that have served. So we got a lot of experience, and between all of us, we will definitely get you taken care of.
Well, Mike, thank you for coming in and speaking to us here at the AMEDD Effect Podcast. Thanks for all of the information, and hopefully we can bring you back on so you can give us some more information about what other things SFA has to offer. And I think we want to talk to you about some of the common mistakes. So if you're out there, you're watching this, we will have Mike back on. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow the podcast. Just listen in to us.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you. The causes and effects of Army medical opportunities are endless. When you join the U.S. Army Medical Department, not only will you get more out of your medical career, but you will also provide meaningful service to soldiers, their families, military retirees, and last but not least, your country. To learn more about AMEDD, visit goarmy.com/AMEDD. That's goarmy.com/AMEDD. And if you're looking for information on tuition assistance, visit goarmy.com/HPSP. That's goarmy.com/HPSP.